Like it's so sus.
I couldn't make it past the trailer, but that's me. I'm not judging anybody who chooses to watch it. As a father of 3 boys, once I saw the trailer, I said, "Oh, that's what we're doing. This is not
that's
what we're doing.
That's what we're on."
Watch out, Josh ain't going for the switch. I just wanna find for a miss.
What's up, family? This is Q.
And your boy JusRzd.
And this is Those Indie Geeks, where we talk about all the stuff we love in a geeky manner. How you doing today, JusRzd?
Fabulously fantastic.
Fabulously fantastic? Huh? I can't wait to talk about the Fantastic Four. That's
another episode.
We gotta have here for that, or Prodigyl rather.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you.
We're using our superhero names. I'm sorry, guys.
Here out in Clark. Like
just your full government. I don't want to tell you. For real,
sir.
Hold on.
Yeah, Dick Grayson, he could flip. Like, damn.
He could do a flip. So many backflips. So, like, if you haven't noticed yet, of the first couple episodes with 3 of us here, and this is just me and JusRzd because our boy Prodigyl is being an international superstar in Australia, performing over there. We all do music, and he's the only one of us that has ever played internationally. Apparently, like that's
hence the indie geeks,
indie geeks,
independent artists.
Yeah, and we're geeks.
Thanks.
So whenever we don't have one of us here, the format will change just a little bit. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe it'll just be 2 of us talking about something specific to our like interest. This time is going to be anime for us because me and JusRzd are anime heads, and it's very prevalent in my music for sure, and some stuff that we've worked on together. Shameless plug. If you haven't listened to Spirit Press, shameless. So we do have a lot to talk about though, because last year was crazy. Like, if we're just talking about anime releases in general, what did we have? We had Solo Leveling, Mashle,
Undead Unluck,
Kyju number 8, Windbreaker. We had that next season of Bleach come out, bro. Like,
facts.
My Hero Academia was
Demon
actually
Slayer.
doing something. Demon Slayer did something, bro. So okay. What piqued your interest first about last year's?
I would definitely have to say the newcomers. There were a lot of anime that dropped last year that I was not expecting to hit as hard as it did. I want to say Hell's Paradise came out last year as well.
I haven't got the chance to watch that.
It's interesting. It gets a little weird once they get to an island, but it's interesting. It's I'm a big mythology person, so like anything that has to do with like certain mythologies, it's big on Taoism for sure.
Okay.
But anything that has to do with that and just the way they illustrate it is interesting.
Now, is it getting Danda-Do weird levels, or that's one we didn't mention on purpose? I didn't mention Danda-Do on purpose because I don't know, bro. I watched through the first season. I'll tell you this right now, but anybody who's like Christian watching this, by the way, we are Christian. That's what we believe in, and it's let me tell you something. If there's a hook and bait, because the theme song slaps, all right. And when you get past that first episode, if you can. It's pretty if you can, it's pretty triggering if you have any kind of history in that nature of things. But it's pretty triggering. But like once you get past that, it's like the most normal, almost shonen-ish anime. Like despite what they're looking for the entire time, it's like pretty dope, beautiful animation, and then they get you right again. Like it's so sus. I can't.
I couldn't make it past the trailer, but that's me. I'm not judging anybody who chooses to watch it. It's just as a father of 3 boys, I just couldn't tap in. I just couldn't tap in. Once I saw the trailer, I said, "Oh, that's what we're doing. This is not what we're doing.
That's what we're on. This is what we're on. Right. That is exactly what they did, and they did a little bit more.
Right, but
that's a season finale.
Back on what you asked for Hell's Paradise, does it get Danda-Don'T levels of weird? Not to the extent of Danda-Don'T, but it does get weird.
Okay,
it does get weird in the
like Aeon Flux weird. Remember Aeon Flux?
I remember the movie. I don't remember the anime.
The anime, the little French anime was like wild. It was a French anime. The same people that made I think they made Carmen Sandiego.
See,
I might be wrong on that. I have no idea.
Wait, you mean like our Carmen Sandiego?
Not like our kind of like a cartoon from back then. I'm pretty sure like the same people made a version of a Carmen Sandiego cartoon that was like on Fox Kids.
Okay. I was about to say, I remember like old school Carmen Sandiego as a child.
Yeah.
But
everybody remembers
they had, like revamped it or something.
They did, but they were about like 10, 15 years too late for me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, nobody cares about Carmen Sandiego.
I don't care where the world.
Ain't nobody looking for her. Like, ain't nobody looking for Waldo anymore. Like, that's not a thing.
This is true. This is true. So, okay, Hell's Paradise caught you. What about it was cool?
Well, first of all, out the gate, they are crazy. So the first, I'll just explain the first episode. The first episode, it starts from I don't remember Buddy's name, but it starts from the main character's point of view. He's he's an assassin and he's supposed to be getting executed for his crimes. And every time they try to execute him multiple different ways, it doesn't work. They tried to get some cattle to split him in half and like pull him in different directions. That didn't work. They tried to set him on fire. That didn't work. It was so many different ways they tried to execute him and nothing worked. And
the unkillable nigga. That's what we...
Facts. And he's just like, I don't understand why I can't, like, his body's not letting him die. And he's just like, I don't, like, he's trying to convince himself that he doesn't have a will to live, but then he's like realizing his body has like a subconscious will to live, so it's not letting him perish. And then it kind of picks up from there. He gets recruited to go on this mission for these feudal lords trying to explore this mystical island. And they're sending criminals over there because everybody that goes over to the mystical island comes back dead or deformed. And
what the heck?
Right. So they're like, let's send these gang of criminals, and if you guys to watch y'all, we'll have like this high elite secure guard watch y'all, so that way if y'all try to make an escape or whatever, they'll kill you on sight. Or they'll unalive you on sight. And so of course, as soon as they get on the island, chaos ensues. Because when they get on the island, it's a bunch of mystical creatures in massive deity-esque creatures and people that are just slaughtering everybody.
Well, it sounds like it doesn't sound like this, but that was like one of the facets of what was that show called, God of High School, that they just never explained. Like there was like random deities and so like they still like I guess they explain it further in the manhwa or whatever that it's based off of, but like there was like a giant hand that just came down at the beginning of it and nobody ever said anything about it again.
Never said anything. It was like, bro, y'all had the setup was so fire. And then y'all speed blitz the rest of the plot. And it was just like, I don't know what's happening. Now he's Sun Wukong. Where did we?
When did we get here? When did he become the Monkey King?
Right. Like, how did everybody get powers? We're in high school. How did we
for
think
real.
this happening?
And for like them making, not to like super veer off, but Down to High School is one of my favorites from the last couple years.
Top tier
Mostly
animation.
because of the animation. Yeah, the animation was straight. The story was weird. Like I couldn't keep up. But like, as far as animation, it was beautiful.
Then he came back alive at the end. It was just like, what?
That's my boy. Like, hold on. You knew?
How did we get here?
You knew about this. So like, and it just didn't make any sense. But like, that's what I liked about it. Honestly, I love anime that just don't make sense a lot of the time. Right. But I will say that in that there was like this like little bit of a charm, and that's and in the vein of charm, I would put Undead Unluck in there too, because it has this charm to it, to where even though the plot is like kind of convoluted at first, I guess it starts to like even out. Like I'm only to the part where they just start discovering hey guys, we don't care about spoilers on this show. Like we're never probably gonna tell you when we're gonna spoil. We're not gonna hit you with the.
Just know if we're talking anime, spoiler alert.
It's always spoilers. It's always spoilers. We're gonna talk about it. I don't care. And half the time I don't remember names, so like you're good there. But like when they started figuring out that one of the main characters was a different person, basically. I don't know how to explain that. But okay, if you haven't seen Undead Unluck, right? Pretty popular anime right now, I guess. Pretty popular manga.
I haven't really heard too many people talk about it. But it was
I've heard the Weeb Commander talk about it. That one white dude with the with the glasses. And he's good. His videos are dope, but like he kind of goes into depth about I was watching his video because he was explaining the power system behind Undead Unluck. And that was how I found out that I initially wanted to even watch Undead Unluck. Okay. Because he was explaining it, and I was just like, that sounds really dope. What I didn't get explained was the fact that homie is naked pretty much most of the time. Like they find clever ways to cover him up, and eventually he, gets his clothes of his own. For those who have watched the anime, clothes of his own. So it's just the way that he has to unlock his special. Yeah. It's just kind of weird. If we want to talk about Danda-Do levels, it's weird. They do it with the kind of charm.
Danda-Do, but it does.
It might as well be like
it pushed the limit a little bit.
It might as well. I was just like, they keep talking about this young girl and her attributes a lot.
True. And they specifically specified that she was of legal age. She was 18.
They specified
that out the gate. And I was just like, she had to be 18. She couldn't have been 21.
She couldn't have been any older.
That'd be true.
any older. So, I mean, I'm having the same kind of quandary with there was an anime that came out this year. I know we're veering off a little bit, but there was an anime that came out this year. The Red Ranger gets trapped inside of an isekai or something, whatever it's called. But basically, it's like a Power Ranger essentially gets trapped inside of the world of an isekai like story, but they still have all their powers and everything like that. They're just in an isekai story, so it makes for a funny show. And one of the things about an isekai is usually they have a lot of fan service for some of them choose to go certain routes, and this isn't really any different. It wasn't as bad, but this last episode was all like, fast forward. Ooh, no.
That's the one thing I like. I get the fact that in Japan they make anime for a specific demographic, even though everybody kind of from adults to kids kind of love anime like in the West. It's once you get to of a certain age or level of maturity, the fan service does start to get annoying. It's just like, all right, enough.
It's a little bit. I get. Well, the thing is that show in particular, though, like that show specifically plays up to the tropes of each of those things. So it has a lot of stuff that'll happen in like Super Sentai is the Japanese version of Power Rangers, guys, basically. Or Super Sentai is the precursor to Power Rangers. Is how we got Power Rangers here in the United States. But shout them out. Hyam, you should have paid those kids, bro. That's crazy. You should have paid them actors. But
fun fact, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie is the reason why I want to skydive.
I can see that.
The intro.
Well, you gotta with the freaking. I don't even remember who did that song. I think it was like Bon Jovi or
I don't even remember the song. I just remember everybody jumping out the plane. And then Tommy had the board. I was like, oh, that's hard. He got a board in the air.
That's hard. Oh no, that was the Red Chili Peppers at the beginning of that movie. Anyway.
I got you.
Anyway, so it takes a lot of the tropes from both of those things, which Super Sentai has a lot of tropes that you don't necessarily see in Power Rangers a whole lot because they morph it, so quote unquote morph it, so that it appeals to an American audience. So there's not a whole lot of the same tropes, but as everybody knows, in Isekai there's very specific tropes like girls with big boobs, like all this magic, all that stuff, right? Like, so they'll take all those tropes and just like put them together.
Makes sense.
And it's hilarious. But at the same time, this last episode, I was just like, oh well, you didn't need that scene. It might not have shown anything, but you know when it gets so close, and you're just like, hey, yo, like. Kids, avert your eyes. Avert your eyes.
Is this hentai?
Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Pause. It's not that deep. But
man.
So I mean, it's hilarious. But Undead Unluck isn't that way.
Yeah, the only person really getting naked is Undead.
Yeah,
it's not like they're showing. Anything. He's covered up for the most part.
The bar is hilarious because the bar, I don't know if you noticed that the bar kept changing sizes. I said if they don't stop changing the bar size.
Like, bruh, what are we doing? But yo, if you actually get to by the time you get to the end of season 1 on Undead Unluck,
yeah.
Granted, it picks up and changes paces throughout season 1, but by the time you get to the end of season 1, is no way you can't be locked in as far as what the end goal ends up being by the end of season 1. It's just like, yo,
yeah,
I need a season 2,
right?
Because the story changes so much.
I'm still like 3 or 4 episodes out of being done with the first season. So, I've seen it pick up, and it has gotten progressively crazier from when did I start back? When they had the fight in the desert with not the desert, but the dude, when he changed back in the dude with the black hair, Victor. His former Victor, yeah. When he changed back into him and he was fighting old dude, was it the Blue Ninja dude? Chinese dude? I don't remember. I forget who was fighting.
The dude that went on the mission with him. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, when they ended up fighting, that's when I tapped back in. Mm-hmm. So I'm still a couple episodes off of the end, but it has been picking up, and hopefully it gets another season. I don't know if it was even renewed. Was it renewed?
That's a great question. Find out next time.
You haven't heard anything. Find out next time.
Dragon Ball Z.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon.
Dude, we didn't we need to do that. That has to be an episode, one of the, like, some of the greatest cartoon like theme songs.
Oh,
anime
man,
anime or superhero related, doesn't matter.
Listen.
Like,
first of all, ain't no theme song to date touching what they did in the 80s and 90s for theme songs.
we can save that argument, because I can see your back wall, and I can tell you have a bias. At least
saying, no, I'm not saying
on
that
one
there hasn't
different.
been, I'm not saying that there hasn't been great songs past. I'm just saying they were hitting every cartoon.
It was hitting like butter in the 80s and the 90s.
Like
every cartoon, every anime, it was just hitting. But in any case, going back to last year's releases, that season, what was that, season 7 of My Hero Academia? Have you seen the whole?
Yes. Yeah, I'm currently rewatching that with my children.
My God. For All Might's, what would you call her, like a successor?
I wouldn't say successor. I wouldn't even say apprentice. Let's just go with American.
She was just like admiring him, right?
Like that was her idol was All Might. So I don't know how that would translate from him to her, but
yeah. just influence, like,
you're right.
Like, what was her name? Glory Hallelujah. What was her?
First of all, we are going to respect the prophetess Glorilla.
The prophetess Glorilla is wild. What?
But
she said, she's like, I'm out here showing this moose knuckle to evil, right? I'm ready. I'm ready. Hold on. Hey. Hold on. I love it.
Dang, Stars and Stripes. There we go. I couldn't think of her
Stars
name.
and Stripes. That was her name. I was that far off.
Yeah,
I was that
her
far
name,
off.
Stars
That's
and Stripes.
crazy. Crazy work. I thought her name was Glorilla. Anyway, she said, "Hold on the top of the plane." You know how they have that meme now of like every year there's like a new Fetty Wap meme, and now they had a meme with Fetty Wap playing a JBL speaker.
No.
I wish you to be mine again, baby. She's like riding it.
Hey, yo, why did you hit that joint like that? Why you hit that joint like that? Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Bro.
Oh, snap.
That joke has me rolling every single time. Like, I'm stuck.
Man. You got my cheeks hurting. Pause.
I'm stuck though, because she came in and showed the most the most effort, the most hands. Stars and Stripes was hitting it. Pause.
Oh, for sure.
She was getting it for real. Like, and then when the tables had turned,
they turned, but they turned again in her favor. So I appreciated that.
True. She made sure that it was a lot. She did that, but this season was kind of a mixed bag for me, because it was one of those seasons where it's like there's a whole lot going on, but they're trying to push this out. Like they're trying to push as much like filler. Do I want to call it? Is it filler? Do you feel like there was like filler?
Not really.
Was it just like a whole lot of in between story?
I already knew what happened in the manga, so I didn't really feel like it was filler. It was pretty low key. It was pretty much consistent with what was in the manga. It's just like, even because Horikoshi got a lot of flack for how he told the story, even in the manga, because he kept cutting from like he'll go months on one fight and then cut to a different fight before resolving that fight. And so it's just like you kind of felt that way. In the anime, it actually translated a lot better than it did in the manga.
I think like, it would, yeah.
As far as cutting away like that. But I know for margaritas, they were upset.
Yeah,
that he kept doing that.
Manga readers have a different pace, but
right.
they,
which kind of makes sense. I mean, you're waiting weekly for the new chapter to come out, so it's like I get it, but
and the anime
like
was perfect.
Way better, right?
It was perfect in the anime just because there's that tension. I just felt like there was a lot of, to me, just like equal space that didn't need to be there, where they kept like rehashing it. Like this is something I don't necessarily like. They keep rehashing like certain things that were said or that were done in like My Hero Academia. If you guys have never watched My Hero Academia, that's one of my only hangups about it, is they will rehash
that's true
all of what you know again.
And that's why I say I don't know if it's filler or just the way Horikoshi tells his stories.
Yeah. We don't need that many flashbacks, though.
That's true. That's true. We definitely don't. And that kind of goes to a point I want to make as far as like, I low key feel with this new crop of anime that dropped, especially in the last few years, like a Jujutsu Kaisen, like a Solo Leveling, like a Kyju number 8 and stuff like that, even Hell's Paradise. 12 episodes a season, they just be getting to it. Like they don't.
No, they get active.
Time on nothing. It's just we getting active. We
for sure.
Active. Like even their slow story building episodes feel weighted, I guess.
Right.
Because it's just they're getting to it. Like, and I appreciate that. And it's just like watching older anime. You just like, dang, they probably could have wrapped this up 20 episodes ago, but they still doing this. Like, that's one of my biggest complaints of One Piece. Like,
that's the era that we come from.
Facts. Like One Piece, love the story, great adventure, fun time. We could have definitely.
Well, I mean, that's what Netflix is doing. That's what Netflix is reanimating it so that it's a lot more compressed.
Because it's like, bro, I don't need to see 3 episodes of them charging at each other. Like,
true. True. That gets a little weird. Like, it's a little weird too when they're on ships. Like how can you really stay that angry and you're still like an hour away from the destination?
Right. It's like, bro, can we just get to it? Can y'all just finish the fight? Can we finish the fight and not drag this out over 20 episodes?
What always pissed me off about like stuff like Dragon Ball Z, if you guys don't know, that's like one of my favorite anime ever. Dragon Ball. And what always upset me about it was they did just that, even though they had the abilities to not have to do that. Like, realistically, they're showing, if they wanted to get a place pretty quick, they could. Goku has instant transmission. They fly very fast. They don't even talk about how fast they actually fly. They fly at like Mach speeds.
Shoot, the Planet Namek fight was 4 minutes, and that took forever.
4 minutes. That's what I was getting to. Like the fact that the fight will last like 18 to 20 episodes when it's in reality 4 minutes. Like Toriyama Sensei was all like, yeah, no, the planet on the Planet Namek fight was only between Goku and Frieza was only 4 minutes. Like what? And you guys can fact check me. You guys can fact check me. I just heard that one time from an interview, and you know how Toriyama just like,
but it's true though,
made up stuff.
Frieza blew. He detonated the planet, and the planet had 5 minutes left, and they still Goku still was able to beat him.
And run around for a little bit.
And run around for a little bit before the planet exploded. Like, damn. Y'all did 20 minutes. 20 episodes worth of 4 minutes.
Right. Somebody did like a realistic like reenactment of how fast Trunks defeated Mecha Frieza. And that was probably like one of the dopest things ever that I've seen because it was genuinely like 5 seconds.
Facts.
It was like, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is why they lengthen the episodes and kind of draw everything out, because if they didn't, all the fights would look like that. Because they're going so fast.
The funniest part about that whole episode was King Cold.
King Cold? He's like, let me hold your sword. Pause. Like,
was the funniest part about that whole thing is just like he was talking big trash, like he knew his son was gonna get it, and Trunks was like, "Nah, he not though. He's not though. He's not though." I still remember he like that slice, and you see the screen split. I said, "Oh well,
that's how we're doing it."
Pack freezer right on up out of here.
Oh yeah. Up until that point, I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and up until that point, I don't think I'd seen anything as violent. Maybe outside of animation, yeah, but like I don't think I'd seen anything that violent. And that's what really made me go, "Oh, anime is different than like a Disney cartoon." In my head as a kid, because when I was a kid, because that came out, that came out when I was, I want to say, like 11 or 12. The Trunks thing he did. Okay. So, like, because I had the little VHS of it, and I didn't realize that it was uncut, even though it says it on the box. I didn't realize it was uncut. So, like, they showed that part, and I was just like, I didn't even know Dragon Ball Z was this violent. What are we doing? What is this?
They get to it. And I didn't realize there was because of I didn't have access to a lot of stuff growing up. So like comics and stuff like that. I didn't grow up on like comic books or mangas or nothing like that. So whatever was on my TV, that's what I was watching.
So you watched like the edited versions of everything, basically.
Right. So it's just like I didn't even know Dragon Ball Z showed blood like that for real until I saw like an uncut video, and I was like, oh snap. They was
the cut video, they were spitting up like spit, like water. They would just they would just erase the red.
Facts. And you see like the dirt where the wounds would be instead of the blood. It'd just be like the dirty lines.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, y'all just got scuffed up. Ain't nobody really hurt like that.
Right, ain't nobody really hurt. Oh no, he has a hole through his chest, sir.
That's hole.
That's not not just dirty lines.
They actually animated, like, or not animated, they colored in the spot where Raccoon's butthole was showing.
Oh wow.
It wasn't his butthole, but his butt was showing, and they covered that mug up. They said, "No, sir, not on Cartoon Network."
Right,
not
on Toonami. No, we don't.
We don't
Tom
do that.
Says no.
Not right after Sailor Moon. Heck no.
Oh man, I used to watch
Sailor Moon was hard, actually.
It was.
Like...
It was. Sailor Moon was tough. Tuxedo Mask, all the different moons. I mean, not moons. All the different sailors.
Bro, I didn't even know. Like, I saw a meme the other day where somebody was all like they were pressed because Tuxedo Mask actually had other types of powers that he could have used the whole time, but he decided to just throw roses. Like, he has like a beam that he can shoot. This nigga can like shoot fire.
Wow. I just thought he threw roses. I never knew.
I thought he just weaponized roses.
I never knew. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before. Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama had the rose whip. You know what I mean?
But that rose whip was hard though.
It was.
I'm not gonna like.
Kurama's definitely one of my favorite characters from Yu Yu Hakusho. So,
yeah, but that was our era where they just moved everything at a pace because I think it was due to the way that they were releasing like the anime and the manga either simultaneously or after the fact, or if they wanted to animate different things in ways to where they could tell the full scope of it or something.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely moves different now. Speaking of an anime that moves differently like that now, Kaiju number 8, since you mentioned it, golly.
Talk about
it. Kafka's my guy.
Bro, first of all, Kafka is us. You know what I mean? Like,
literally.
Is a grown man. Like, I love that he's an actual adult in an anime and he's the protagonist. Like,
right. This bro's all like, I got a mortgage.
I'm sick of seeing the kids do well, but I get anime shonen. It's usually a kid's journey and story. But to see Kafka, like, be a grown man, be the main character, and like still chasing his dreams and being empowered to chase his dreams by those that he helps around him is so dope.
Yeah.
almost got me emotional when he got arrested and everybody was still supporting him. I was just like, all right, man,
I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. I teared up a little bit because they were when he was walking past him and they wasn't saying anything. I was like, oh man. Then they just all saluted him when he went up. Like,
I was like, all right, come on, man.
And the one guy,
of course, I remember you. I said, oh no, y'all not gonna do this to my boy.
I was like, it's over. Y'all, what are y'all doing past it? Because I haven't read the manga. And I know that there's more past this. But I was watching that Weave Commander guy again on this specifically too, because this is what made me kind of interested in. So shout out Weave Commander. I don't remember his real name, but like shout out Weave Commander because he put me on, because I was all like, I don't know if I want to watch this Kaiju number 8. I saw an ad for it that it was coming, and I was like, eh. And then he described like the first part of the manga, and went through it and talked about all the stuff that's coming. Like
right.
And I'm just all like, oh, now they're about to get active.
They real active.
This is something that I did not expect to happen, especially the way that they have us connected to the characters right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not even talk about the GOATs One Republic making the single best outro song in an anime ever.
Chef's kiss.
Bro, nobody got you the way I said, what is happening? This is a real song.
Facts.
No disrespect. No disrespect to any other outro or any of those people that make those songs, because it, like Naruto had like a bunch of them that were memorable, but when you get One Republic,
man, listen.
who like,
and I don't know who they are, but
they were the ones that too late to apologize. Those guys
didn't know that.
Too late, like they were with Timbaland.
What that mean?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, Timbaland is my favorite producer of all time. However, I when it comes to like pop bands and stuff like that, I'm tapped out. But I've heard their songs before. I just didn't know it was them.
Man.
But yeah, they killed that.
Dude, they made I didn't think that was possible. I was all like, y'all made a number one. That thing charted, I think.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure that charted.
There's been some fire.
It's like,
there's been some fire outros and intros, because like you said, Danda-Do got a fire intro. Kaiju number 8 got a fire outro, but Martial Magic and Muscle,
bruh,
their intro is crazy.
I'm not doing the dance. I saw a TikTok where there was just people in the streets of Japan doing that dance. I was like, that is crazy. They actually like this dance so much and this song so much. They were hitting it too. They were hitting it. Wasn't the same dude who did that was the same guy, right? The dude who did Danda-Do?
Yeah,
same song?
Same dude.
Yeah.
That's how I knew it was gonna be a hit. Once I was like, this sounds like the same dude from Masha. I was like, oh, this finna go. I already know this finna go.
And then so the intro for Kaiju number 8 isn't bad. It's just I'm not even really like a Youngblood fan like that, but he's all right. And it still sounded dope, but it gives you what you need to get into it at first, and then when it gets to that tension part, that's what everybody finds funny about Kaiju number 8. It gets to that tension part. Nobody got you the way I do. Like, homie's about to get shot right at the temple. Nobody got you the way I do. The chick with the book over her face.
Doing lab work. Like, what are we doing?
Doing lab work. They're riding bicycles. At the end of the...
Man.
Yeah!
Thanks.
But But meanwhile, in the main part of the anime, people lost arms and stuff.
Facts. That's really funny.
Oh, that crap was hilarious to me. But they do it. They know how to keep the pace, doing it pretty well. And it's like the way that I guess manga is written now, it just makes for a perfect like 12 episode stint for like a couple of chapters. And then we move on. Facts. And we're good. I'm ready for season 2, bro.
Oh, big facts. I need that season 2. And it's interesting because I want to know if they're going to keep the same 12 episode pacing for season 2. Same thing with Solo Leveling, because Solo Leveling season 2 is currently airing. I wonder if it's going to keep the 12 episode pacing or if they're going to actually extend it to more episodes, which I'm not opposed to. But yeah, I'm just interested to see how they're going to go about telling this story.
Only way I can see that being annoying, like more than 12 episodes, is if they have like Tower of God syndrome, where the first season was hidden. In the second season, while they're answering a lot of questions, it's kind of boring. To me, personally. It picked up around the when everybody basically found out it was bomb.
Right.
Like T-Rex dude is back. Like they
yeah, it picked up for me because in the beginning, especially season 2, it picked up for me when Bomb and Kun saw each other again. I was just like, oh snap, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But after that, because I kind of like how they started it, like because you're trying to figure out who this new person is, who's this new group, why are they important. Then they switch to Kun and his new group, and you start to see like, wait, what's going on? And then you start to see that he still doesn't trust Rachel, which I loved. And
Rachel doesn't need to be trusted
at all. She needs to be unalived. But
I don't think I've ever known a Rachel in real life that I could actually trust. There was one Rachel that I could probably actually ever trust, and I still don't trust her.
I don't know if
I can't. That's like an untrustworthy name.
I know.
Ever since Friends. No, I'm just playing.
We will not speak on the whitewashed living single.
Hey man. I have a space in my heart for Friends, my God.
Man.
And Living Single as well.
Man. Dumpster.
But ain't nobody doing it like Max.
Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. Ride the Maverick.
Ride the Maverick. But yeah, no, I feel you, man. Those different factions in there. It's just for me, it just got like a little tedious because I'm like, I don't necessarily need hands all the time,
right?
But I need the story to engage me.
No, and for sure, it was dry at first.
Yeah,
it was dry.
Tower God kind of like had that thing that God of High School had where they were just kind of bouncing around whatever the crap was going on in the story,
right?
But when God of High School got to a point where it was like almost like leeringly boring, kind of a little bit, they picked it right back up because somebody got kicked in the face or something. Right. Like, whereas in Tower of God will stick on that boring lingering for like 3-4 episodes, and then somebody will finally make a point. I feel like they could have gotten to the point where they were, way before like 30 episodes in to the freaking.
True, I agree that. But I do kind of like how they tie everything back into each other by the end of season 2. I thought that was dope. I'm interested to see where the story develops from here, as far as with Kun and Bomb and the lizard Rex or whatever his name is. Rock, that's his name, Rock. The way with them being back,
he's
together,
hilarious.
To see. Oh, he's hilarious. Calling everybody turtles. They're just different variations of turtles. That joke is funny to me. Black turtle, blue turtle.
Man, I thought he was gonna be a villain for real first season. I thought he was gonna be a villain for real.
He did look like that though.
I was just like, I guess it's not happening.
Facts. Turns out Rachel was the villain the whole time.
Oh man, that broke my heart, bro.
I've never been so heartbroken at the end of a season of anime. I was like, oh my god, oh my god.
I was invested too. I was like, this dude did all of this for you.
For you. For you. He didn't even want to come here.
Next frame, we see him just falling into the abyss.
Because you pushed him? I was hurt. I was like, yo. Are you serious? What am I watching?
And then just seeing, and they made you hate her more just because of like how they portray her after the fact.
Not even
like,
after.
Immediately after.
Right.
Like
yo, when they give her whole reasoning for why she pushed, I'm like, nigga, what? This is why you did this?
And then you want to try and talk about maybe it wasn't the like no you can't start rethinking stuff now.
Right. Nah. You're a villain, man.
You are a villain. You should not get to the top of that tower.
I like the fact that Kun was still 10 toes on I don't trust her. She needs to be unalive. And we gonna find Bomb first. But
I think it's wild too. I think it's wild that they named him Kun, by the way. Like it was mildly, it caught my attention. And I know it means something different.
He's like an outcast from his family too. That's the funny part.
That is the craziest part. Freaking
so not only is your name Kun, we're gonna treat you like a Kun too.
They have a way of making racial slurs sound so epic in Japanese. There's just gonna be like a character. I'm not even gonna say that because that would probably not go well on YouTube. Anyway.
Ooh, another one that dropped at the top of last year. JJK season 2.
Bro. I heard no, and here's I need to stop watching all these opinions on other because I heard somebody a friend of mine. He's part of the CHA scene. If you guys don't know, we're Christian hip hop artists and stuff. So he's part of the CHA scene. His name is Emmanuel. I think LKD. Every once in a while, you'll see his tweets or whatever, where he's asking people like, what's your like anime opinion about blah blah blah, right? Somebody he said, what's an unpopular anime opinion that you have? And somebody was literally like, the first season of JJK, mid. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with that? No, but
turn this show off now.
I can see why somebody would feel that way.
They said that Yuji was a horrible main protagonist.
I can also see why somebody would make that point at season 1.
Okay.
Don't agree with it, but there's of course bigger protagonists than him, but
I agree in the sense that Yuta exists.
That's what I'm saying. It's definitely, and he was the OG anyway. Yuta was the original,
he was the one that was
main character anyway.
He was supposed to be like the guy.
Right. So that's why I said I can see why people make that argument. I don't agree with it. I thoroughly enjoyed JJK season 1, being enveloped.
Season 1 was dope.
World,
yeah,
and just seeing how everything just transpired.
But season 2 was so much better.
Oh my god, it was man, it was. I can't. Raga, the op stopper. We got so many
Big Raga coming out and just being like.
First of all, Big Raga coming out and then destroying Megami as soon as he summoned him was hilarious. He said, man, move.
He said, I'm out. Get out the way. What are we doing, Sasuna, or whatever his name is?
There was so many people that got unalived in season 2 that I was just like,
bro,
I was not expecting. The butler, I was like, fam, why y'all had to do the butler like that? He just an Uber. He a glorified Uber. That's all he do is drive people around. And y'all just had to. He was on the phone, got off the phone, looked down, he stabbed.
He's gone. Her, when she, what's her name? Mona, I forget names, guys.
Somewhere in is Nobara.
Nobara. I was mad. She went down hard though.
She did.
Pause.
She went down hard. She was going. She was getting active. She was getting to it.
Yeah. But I was just kind of like, okay, so now we're losing the entire main cast that we got introduced to. See, because at that point I hadn't watched Zero yet. I think everybody else watched Zero, so I had no idea that there was a complete. Like, I didn't know that the school that they ended up meeting was technically the first class,
right?
Or parts of it were the parts of the first class that we were introduced to or supposed to be introduced to in Zero. Like, and Yuta was a part of, and like the head of that. I had no idea, so I was thinking, this is so dark. Like, to me, personally, it was even more bleak because I was like, they just killed off our entire main cast. What are we doing? Gojo's trapped in our box.
Bruh.
What is Yuji doing?
First of all, I don't know who farms or more Jinwoo or Gojo, because
Gojo. Gojo. I don't know. Say, like, plain and simple, Gojo.
Jinwoo go crazy too, but it's Gojo.
Jinwoo's not like a farmer. Okay, when he came in the Zoolander outfit, that was definitely farmer.
Jinwoo ain't no R farmer. All right.
or farming is like, okay. There was a couple of things I can think back on when he was talking about saving those couple of workers, when the dude was all like, where are my 6 workers? Or my 6 hunters? And he was just all like, you should be happy that I saved 2 of them.
Fact.
And he looked back,
said, hey, brother,
told
get
me,
your hands.
Get your hands off.
Hit him with the Denzel. Get your hands off me.
Get your hands off me. You fake looking lion-o. In a suit.
But nah, Gojo, the way he handled Jogo and Hanami, first slaughtering Hanami, and I wish that they would have, before they dropped Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I wish they would have at least showed us the first 5 episodes of season 2, because that added so much more context to him and Geto's relationship. Because in the movie, I was confused as to why they even had a relationship in the first place. I was like, I don't understand why y'all dynamic is like this. But maybe y'all will explain it. And then season 2, first 5 episodes.
Isn't the manga, like, doesn't it, like, basically do 0 first?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
I thought it did.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not
sure. Because if you think about it, 0, when he was explaining how everything works, like how the domain expansion and all that stuff work, that's like a first of the series type thing to do.
Right.
And in the first season, it sounded almost as if, like, in dialogue, they did a good job of writing it to where it didn't sound as much like this, but it still kind of sounded like something in passing that we should already know.
Right.
Like, oh, you don't know how spiritual energy works? You don't know how, or not spiritual energy, but you don't know how, I'm going Yu Yu Hakusho on them.
Facts.
But like, you don't know how that works. You don't know how this works. It's called the main expansion. Like, it sounded like he was basically explaining it again.
Right.
As opposed to
for the first. Me and my homeboy went to go see Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in theaters. And that was one part we kind of critiqued, because we were like, yo, why did they repeat the whole power scaling system in 0 when they just did that in season 1? But once you find out why 0 was the way it was, like that was supposed to be the original story, then it's just like, oh, well, that makes sense. It makes sense why they did that way.
It's confusing, but it's also very intriguing.
Right.
The way that they did it, because essentially Jujutsu Kaisen could have been two completely different anime.
Right.
Not completely different, but like two different. It could have went two different ways.
Right. Yeah, and I'm excited to see season 3. The Culling Games. If y'all thought season 2 got active,
you thought we got hands in season 2? No.
Hands of Deaths. But y'all think y'all got that in season 2? Y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all haven't seen nothing.
And Yuta's about to come back? Like, come on,
bro. Brother.
Come on,
There's
bro.
about to be some people you don't expect to get active that's about to get active, and they about to go crazy.
Zero had I wonder what Yuta's gonna do when he figures out that like half of his original team is gone.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but because I know.
Hey, we didn't. We said we don't care about spoilers around here.
No, for sure. But the anime hasn't come out yet, so I'm gonna at least let anime onlys watch the anime first, or let it premiere before I start talking about stuff that's not gonna happen into the future. But yeah.
All right, one thing we need to leave off with. All right, one thing we need to leave this episode off with is solid that we ended on Jujutsu Kaisen, but I need everybody to think about this. What was it? What was Home Dude's name that became friends with Yuji?
Which one?
From the other team, the original team.
Toto?
What's his name? Toto. We need to figure out collectively, as a people who all watch anime, how this dude clapped that one time when he didn't have his hands anywhere near anything. How did he clap? How did he clap? How did he clap? The sound design was crazy because he's blocking. He's No, but no. Where'd the clap come from? I need homie to tell me what mystery is this? You're telling me he clapped them cheeks?
Hey, man. You gotta do what you gotta do in battle. That's all I'm saying. You gotta do what you
never the cheeks.
You gotta do what you gotta do in battle. That's
my God.
Hey, boogie oogie.
I remember watching that so many times. I go,
where did he?
How? When did he? Did he? Because for me, I'm trying to rationalize it in my brain. Like, did he clap like his hand? But he had to. Did he clap his feet together? And it was a clean clap too. That joker said.
First of all, a clean clap is crazy.
It's a clean clap. That joker said. Clean. No air bubbles. No air bubbles.
A clean clap is crazy. That's nasty work.
That's nasty work. But we'll leave you with that, you guys. Hey, man, if you enjoyed what you get it together, we gotta do the outro. If you enjoyed what you heard here today, please. What are the YouTube things to say? What do you say, man?
Oh.
I'm not good at that part. I don't have a YouTube.
Guys, if y'all enjoyed the conversation, the Discord, if y'all enjoyed the convo, definitely tap in with Those Indie Geeks on YouTube. So like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video on the channel. So stay locked in and stay tuned in. You feel me?
Hey, we love you guys. God bless you. Have a good one.